high school or less, we're 20%. Nationally, it's 41%. So there's some differences, and this helps profile our congregation. The question, this congregation is always ready to try something new. We're 47%, all congregations, 61%. So we think we're risk takers. Doesn't sound like we're all that much risk takers in comparison to all congregations. I have a sense of excitement about our congregation's future. 53% of our congregations that agree or strongly agree, while 80% of all congregations said they have excitement about their congregation's future. So that's a big difference in the percentage. Other questions? So the conclusion with all this is there seems to be a lot of room for improving what we want from our congregation. We've at least got benchmark information from 2008. We can use these same questions to measure our progress along certain dimensions over the next 3 to 5 years by giving out the same questions to people in our congregation. Now, if you've got any tougher questions, Dan is going to answer the tough questions. Right, Dan? Other questions, thoughts? How does this strike you? So these are some other ways that we can use this strength report. We're using it first with regard to strategic planning. But for some of your councils that are getting into some of the specific needs to plan, you can look over this information. You will find some useful information for very specific planning, such as how to welcome and invite new members, get them integrated into our congregation. There's lots of fodder for congregational discussions in small groups over dinner or in any kind of small group that you might be meeting with. We can put excerpts from this study or other follow-up questions that are suggested from the study on our bulletin board or on our website, or use as factoids in the bulletin and newsletter. There are study guides that we could order for use in some of the councils as well. So those are just some of the different ways that we can follow up on the information that's been provided. Other reactions?
I'll say it because, part of the strategic things, and just seeing it again here, what struck me, I think, it strikes me as the most interesting is we're far more educated than most congregations, and yet we're one of the weakest congregations in willingness to share our faith, which, is an interesting disconnect for me on some levels.
But you understand what I mean? It's more of a state community movement. I mean, I think a lot of new communities where there's so many houses being built, new people coming in, children, and things.
Yeah, did everybody hear that?
I'm just curious if that's true. I don't really know. You know, I know there's not new homes, but they certainly are not natives to here, nor are lots of new members. So I'm just wondering if anybody actually knows. Because I wonder how many new people do come to our community. Because I know there's a lot of people who live here all the time, but I'm going to guess there's a lot of transition.
But I don't think much of the native structure.
No, I don't know what that. I mean, I'm talking about new families coming in and out, and I think there are some of that.
Part of the report also, demographics will show that our church is older and the community around us is younger than we are, which was part of, I think, the challenge that we saw.
I was just consulting with Walt Kaminsky. The question, Amy's question about whether there are new folks moving into the community. One of the things that we can observe is that we have visitors of 35 to 40 visitors a year, just in our congregation, without tremendous outreach. So that's just people who happen to walk by and walk in. So 35 to 40 a year, just doing that big break in terms of outreach. So.
I have to say that if it weren't for Anne and Dolores, I wouldn't be here. I came quite a few times before anybody even talked to me. And I tried to help out at our Strawberry Festival. I was really sort of chased away from where I was working. It was all I could do to come back. And if it weren't for Anne and Dolores, I wouldn't be here.
I don't remember at the moment exactly what the statistics were, but the idea of being willing to share our faith or the idea of being in a welcoming congregation, if I remember correctly, we didn't score very high, neither one of those. And I always think of the joke somebody told me years ago, and I laughed all the time, but about Presbyterians being God's chosen chosen. And I think perhaps this church is a prime example, if I say so, but I still think it's going to change.
Yeah, I put my name tag on tonight because in my former church, everybody wore name tags, so you got to know whether somebody was a visitor or not. I had it carried. Are there some other people who want to wear name tags?
We try.
And I don't like I know, I've heard it's been tried, but we tried. I don't know which ones of you are new or old, unless I get to know you and what your name is. That's just, my particular preference. Good idea?
People, but there are faces that I don't recognize, and that say hello to me, and I just say hi. But seeing a name with the face gives repetition, so I think that's positive.
Now, we're not going to take a vote on name tags tonight. Just keep going with your comments and reflections on some of this. Susan?
I just want to say that that sentence, we've tried that before, was used on the Wright brothers several times. I've often wondered about the effect of the two services on how we feel as a